Musibongile Muto. We welcome you, ma'am. A special welcome to the Dean of Student Affairs, Mr. Lutando Jack. We welcome you, sir. Special welcome to a special lady. I've not been seeing her for a very long time, Miss Laura Best. We welcome you. To the Director of Student Governance and Development, Dr. Sebake. We welcome you. To Poncho and his team, we welcome the SRC of 2021. And my colleagues who are here, I welcome you. This is the SRC Investiture 2021. It's a special day within the Department of Student Governance and Development. Today, we are privileged that at least we are not virtual. We are seeing each other in a physical form. So we really appreciate the Vice Chancellor that she has allowed us to at least to be able to have this special moment in a way that we can see and feel each other. So at this time, I would love to call upon our Vice Chancellor, who's going to address the House on this special day. With that being said, Vice Chancellor, we welcome you.
Thank you. Colleagues, good morning. Each time I see the new group, cohort of young leaders, I just realize how time moves forward. I was the DVC for 7 years before now. And those days, student life and development, which was called student affairs, was in my portfolio as a DVC. And then student life and development now is in my portfolio as a VC. So I actually have had the pleasure of working with students and student matters alongside my dean since 2010. So I have just seen that the students look younger, but I don't think that the students look younger because they start in these roles sponsor of being the SRC at the same age. But it means that we are growing older. And which is obviously, for me, is comforting because I've always said to this university and to my colleagues that we're not here for ourselves as the leadership of the university. We must lead the university in a way that indicates that we understand that we're in transition, that we are here as the vessels of change, of humanity. We are here for a cause that is larger than ourselves. And I want to say this, it is not in my short speech, but I want to say it as a theme, because your understanding that your generation is a generation in time, and then the time that you have as a generation of leadership will determine what happens to the future of this university long after we have gone to bigger things from this university. So that sense of now and sense of transitionality allows you to be realistic and to be measured in your sense of your own self-importance. So that is how I have always seen our role as the leadership, whether we are staff here or we are students. So I just thought I should just say that because it is in my heart this morning as I'm addressing the students in what is obviously going to be a brief address, Msondezi, because today is about the leadership of our students. It's not so much about me, but I hope that the message is going to be relevant to set our students off to their role of leading the cause of students at the university. I want to then greet you, Ponso Hlongwane, as our new president of the Student Representative Council of 2021. And then I want to greet your executive and the members of the SRC as a whole that are here this morning. I want to greet all the students leaders from societies and other student formations that we have. I want to greet the Deputy Vice Chancellors and Executive Management. I understand this is a hybrid event, so colleagues that are not here are participating in the event in other ways that we have become very familiar with. I want to greet our leader, the Dean of Students, Mr. Luthando Jack. I always say that Luthando is my rock as far as the juggernaut of our 29,000 students are concerned, because he reaches, together with his team, of course, to so many places which I can't reach as a person on my own and with my executive team. I want to greet the executive deans of faculty, and then I want to greet staff and students. Dr. Best, I want to recognize you being here in the room with us. Dr. Best is the head of the Vice Chancellor's Office. Dr. Sibake, the team, all of you that I've not mentioned by name. I know that student life and development is a big department. I want to greet everyone that has really participated, Msondezi. I know that you've been around for years as well in making sure that today is a success. It is indeed my privilege and pleasure to address this important gathering this morning. I am humbled myself again as I stand here in the presence of our Student Leadership Collective. I would like to congratulate the SRC of 2021 on your election, following what, in my view, was a robust but fair campaign among our student community. You are the first generation of student leaders that have been elected through the deployment of latest technologies that made our students to vote anywhere, anytime, within the framework of our rules of SRC elections as approved by our governing council. To this end, I congratulate our colleagues in the Student Life and Development Division for making this achievement possible. And I hope that this will now be a practice going forward. I was just chatting to the president-elect at the moment, because you are going to be the president just in rear, Ponso, after this investiture. The threshold for elections was the highest in this time since we used online and technology-driven process. So I hope that we are not going to stop Luthando using this approach going forward, because of course, as we know, the legitimacy of our SRCs, not just at this university, has sometimes been questioned by those that want to undermine the SRC by the fact that the thresholds are low. It's not a view that I share, because we live in democracy. So not going to vote itself is actually voting. The investiture of the SRC is an extremely insignificant ceremony as it confers upon each member of the SRC the formal responsibility of serving in this leadership capacity. Through your election, you now have placed on your shoulders a daunting and yet exciting responsibility of selfless service to students, the university, and our communities. And I was actually also speaking informally to the president that I'm sure the SRC members should remember every day that your role as the SRC is imprinted in the Higher Education Act. So you are not an informal structure of the university. The Act anticipates your important role in the proper functioning of the university. As the new generation of student leaders who have volunteered to be of service to the student community, you are taking office in exceptional conditions, mainly occasioned by the advent of the COVID-19 global pandemic. Hence, I referred to you as the new generation of student leaders. You will be leading in conditions that have fundamentally changed, Mr. President. These unprecedented changes challenge us as the leadership community to rethink how we deploy learning and teaching, serve our students, respond to the changing profile and needs of our students, and how we respond to precarious conditions that our communities face, and indeed our society find itself in. I am making this brief observation to challenge you to reflect on approaches that you need to adopt to optimally serve the students, that being your primary responsibility. As you reflect on this critical question, I also challenge you to bring forward proposals on how the university itself can reimagine student life at Mandela in a post-COVID higher education environment. We are looking forward to hear what do you think of these things, because you are the ones that are being educated in this university. So there is going to be nothing about you without you. So you need to be able to share with us how do we deploy the academic enterprise to serve you the best way that we can. As the SRC, you are the custodian and champion of the university's 6 distinctive values. Mr. President, I trust that you have ensured that each SRC member knows these values by heart. If you have not done that, it is important that our students, our student leaders in particular, know our values by heart. But more importantly, I am looking forward to hearing your plans and program of action to ensure that these values, they come alive during your term of office in active and vibrant ways. I will call out the values one by one. I don't think I'm doing that because it is necessary, because I'm sure you have immersed yourself on the values. But I'm calling them out so that we take a moment to reflect again on these and remind ourselves of their importance as a motive, as an insignia, as an emblem of what this university stands for. Our values are diversity. They are all explained, each one of them, in our strategic plan of the university. And then we've got a value of excellence. We've got a value of Ubuntu. We have a value of social justice and equality. We've got a value of integrity. And we've got a value of environmental stewardship. And these are the values that guide, not occasionally, on a day-to-day basis, the behavior of the Vice-Chancellor and the team, the behavior of the workers on the grounds of the university, the behavior of our colleagues in the kitchen, and the behavior of our students in their residences, in their classrooms, online. I have been troubled that I've had to deal with a lot of issues of academic integrity as we have been teaching online. So these are all the issues that you have to grapple with. Not standing on your own, standing behind these values that are already established to guide the direction of our university. I enjoin you, individually and collectively, to be an embodiment of the true essence of what is espoused in these values, and in this way place yourselves through practice and comportment. Comportment is composure, at the center of cultivating what we call a Mandela way. Our university leadership collective, inclusive of our student leadership, has an added responsibility to not only lead by example, but to champion and to live out these values, not when you choose to, but all the time. In addition, as democratically elected student representatives, I urge you to carry your mandate with courage, with authenticity, with discipline, and in ways that Mandela moves forward and make progress. All of this is possible, Mr. President, if we are all committed to engagement. Our university is known for its commitment to dialogue and authentic conversation with its students. And as I mentioned when I was speaking to you informally, that our student representative council have got a seat in all the bodies of the university where they take decisions alongside us, in council, in Senate, in ECS, which is the Executive Committee of Senate, in appointments of staff at the university, and in all the other structures that are anticipated in our constitution and elaborated in the Higher Education Act as amended. Our university is known for its commitment to dialogue and authentic conversation with its students, as I've said. Building on this success, we would want to deepen this practice into a formal social compact with our students. At the core of our social compact is our collective commitment to the cultivation of a university culture that catalyzes life-changing learning experiences for our students. Our social compact ought to enjoin us or to obligate us to uproot all forms of human rights violations and abuses, particularly a scourge of gender-based violence and harm at our institution. And we have to advocate for same whenever the situation requires us to do. Some of you might be aware or not that I have been requested by the minister last year to chair the advisory task team that is probing the causes of gender-based violence and harm at universities and how this could be eliminated. So it is the last thing I would like to see, that our own university does not provide leadership in this regard. I wish to call upon the SRC to develop a clear program to fight gender-based violence and harm and other social ills that seek to indignify the members of our community. I commit my full support and that of management to work alongside you in this regard, this area being a passion of mine and a lifelong commitment to work to fight the issues of inequality, particularly as they relate to gender inequality. Your commanding commitment during your term of office has to be the cultivation and renewal of cutting-edge leadership that is committed to the realization of Mandela University's vision. One of the tasks at hand is that of enabling and supporting women leadership. This remains pivotal in our intention to contribute towards an equal society. To this end, I wish to commit myself to be a sounding board for all the SRC members, but particularly for the women SRC members. It was not always the case, President, that we had the number of women that we have. We had to put that in our constitution in the past couple of years. because it is important for us. In the years that I was the DVC, it was not uncommon to have 3 women and the rest of the SRC would be men. So I am happy, Lutando, that we worked with our students to eradicate this practice, because it does not reflect the intentions that we want to realize in this great nation of ours. Finally, our leadership program must be about the development of transformative change. Developing as agents of change starts at personal level. Be your own agent of change first as an individual leader. I've always spoken of something that I call juxtaposition, that in deciding what you want to do and what you want to be and who you want to be, you need to define that against yourself and compete against yourself. This is possible if, as a leadership collective, you remain authentic, reflective, and self-reflective. You have to be self-corrective, and I've said we have to be disciplined while you embrace lifelong learning and stay humble, because everyone aspires for what you already have, to project values of common good, because there is always someone that is worse than yourself. As I conclude, leadership is not always easy. In fact, leadership is difficult. Leadership is complex. It is multidimensional. Therefore, it has to be principled. It requires of us to think and act beyond ourselves. Leadership serves greater good. As a leader, you will be called upon to make judicious and sometimes tough choices. And then you will see Ponzo as you participate in some of the university structures, that sometimes the decisions do not go according to what you want. But leadership is the ability to work with the will of the majority. People died for this in our country. Your leadership is your legacy, and it is how you will be known, both now here at Mandela and years after you have moved out of this university into your life beyond this university, after you have graduated. As student leaders, you shoulder a great responsibility to bear the name of Nelson Mandela, who stands as the person that was chosen by fate at first, but also embraced by the global community to put a human face to our collective aspirations for a more socially just world. So I really congratulate you and wish you the very best in what will continue to be a difficult year. And I would like to wish you success in your studies, and that you all succeed and become the best that you can be in your life beyond this time. Thank you very much, colleagues.
Thank you, VC. You look young, but you are the vessel of change within Nelson Mandela University and its student community. And your time in office will determine the future of Nelson Mandela University. It speaks to each individual in this place, and also it speaks of the space where we are serving. Thank you very much, Vice Chancellor, for those wise words, and we are grateful to have you in our midst. And at this time, I am going to introduce the Student Representative Council of 2021, and I will call you, and then when I call your name, you have to bring your oath that is before you, and then you need to come up front. And then immediately after that, I will call the Dean of Students to lead you with that oath. I will start with the Obidani Council. I will call upon Akona Bekaba, Sive Matolengwe, Sianda Tselani, Nelson Mohale, Letani Mtembu, Tandukazi Nokwavu, Olwetu Nondonga, Dibuseng Ngomo, and then from George campus, I call on Aseko Toto and Asanda Nzomi. That is our Obidani Council for 2021. And then I will move to the faculty representatives. Faculty of Law, I call upon Tabang Mahlowale, Faculty of Law. And then Faculty of Business and Economics Sciences, I call upon Konke Mbuli. Faculty of Health Sciences, Luandile Dlamini. Faculty of Education, Ngobela Chitelo. Faculty of Engineering, Built Environment and Technology, it's vacant for now. Faculty of Science representative, Vuyolwetu Dapolis. Faculty of Humanities, Aphelele Ngalimane. Then Disability representative, I call Vangwele Nechiava. International representative, I call Carlton Mupande. And then I go for premiers. South Campus Premier, Zukisa Skotlo. North Campus Premier, I call Siam Dumisa Vena. Mission Vale, Siwanikiwe Fanele. And then I go to George Local SRC. I call for Ntsikelelo Mkyongolo. Ayabulela Bukwana, Secretary. Liema Dike. Happy Tlowana. Tobela Jaha. And Kwaita Fihla. Second Avenue, Local SRC, Ngaile Tutingani, Yonwaba Hanana, Siyabonga Kapuza, Nompiliso Agrinet Singa, Sandile Tsatsa, Omelele Lumko. Going to the Central SRC, President Poncho Shongwane, Deputy President Kwanga Luphelele Mabija, Secretary General Sinete Zekile Mpanza, Treasurer General Chumokuhle Vukubi, I think all they are on stage. I will call upon the Dean of Student Affairs, Mr. Luchando Jack, to do the oath, the sworn of oath into office. Over to you, Dean.
Madam VC, all protocol observed. I had thought that I was going to do this differently, Msondeze, but it's fine. At least everybody has got their mask on. So that's fine. Let's do it in the manner in which you had decided. You all have your statement of oath in your hands. So how we're going to do this, you are going to follow me as I'm going to lead you in reading the oath. And then towards the end, where it's written, "So help me God," then before you read that, I will then ask you to raise your right hand and then say, "So help me God." But I would also want to be a democratic citizen, because we've got to move with times. If one of you is a non-believer, you can then say, "I affirm," so that you don't say the university has forced you to adopt a particular religion. So you'll follow me, and then where we've got a name, you then, where it's written name, you then mention your name. And then where it talks about portfolio, you'll have to then mention your portfolio. Are we together, President, and your leadership? All right. Okay, let's then start. I solemnly declare to uphold the SRC Constitution and to diligently execute the duties and obligations of the office of in the SRC of Nelson Mandela University. In an endeavor to accomplish the vision and mission of the university, I will preserve the integrity and promote human rights, embrace diversity, Okay. I pledge to work ceaselessly to advance the integrity of students and that of the Nelson Mandela University. Foster good governance and to use the university resources responsibly. I will, to the best of my ability, strive to uphold and advance the unity of students and actively support and promote their ideas and programs. That seek to advance the objects of the SRC Constitution. So you can then raise your right hand and say, "So help me God," or "I affirm." All right, thank you very much. Then what we will do, we will arrange via SGD for all of you to then sign this statement of oath, and will hold you accountable to this oath that you have freely taken, as members of the Mandela SRC of 2020-2021. And congratulations, I wish you all the best, and looking forward to continuing, to working with you during your term of office. Thank you very much, Mr. President, and your leadership.
Thank you very much, Dean. And congratulations to the SRC that has been working tirelessly ever since they have been elected. But today, officially, we are saying welcome to Student Governance and Development. And we wish you for the best, working together in peace and be productive in what we'll be doing together this year. At this time, I'm going to call upon the President of the SRC 2021, President Poncho Hlongwane, to give his address. I'm not sure whether I look with a condo. Thanks,
Amantla. Forward with free education, forward. Forward with free education, forward. Thank you very much, Program Director. I can confirm that indeed my name is Poncho Hlongwane. I'm the newly elected SRC President of 2021. Vice Chancellor, Professor Motwa, Deputy Vice Chancellors, Dr. Best, Prof. Foxcroft, the Registrar, Mr. de Kock, Executive Deans, Dr. Biggs, Dean of Students, Mr. Letondo Chek, Professors, both past and present, lecturers, Ms. Tina Hukwana, academic staff, Director of Student Governance and Development, Dr. Svage, Management of Student Governance, Mr. Mpepo and Mr. Machila, Directors of Departments, Mr. Ngapai, Mr. Mula, Mr. Kungune, the leadership of the Alumni Association, the student community, my mother and my grandmother watching from home, the leadership of the Student Command, of course, products of the progressive Nelson Mandela University will say all protocols observed with a smile. Ladies and gentlemen, receive my heartfelt revolutionary greetings. Let me extend my word of appreciation to our university parents, the security guards, those working at the cafeteria, and the cleaners. As a student community, we lost 2 of our students over the weekend. First and foremost, let me convey our deepest condolences from the periphery robot of my heart to the affected families. Our hearts and thoughts are with you. It's been a long, challenging journey of registration. We have managed to keep our heads above the sea level for those that we seek to represent. Our SRC was elected at a very strenuous time amidst the global pandemic. But ladies and gentlemen, we do not have a sense of arrival. We believe this is the correct time we would be called upon by that, this mic is disturbing me. I think we believe this is the correct time we would be called upon by the task we have taken to make even greater sacrifices for the overriding interest of students. We are the first democratically elected SRC of Nelson Mandela University under COVID-19, and it will certainly not have been possible without you, the students of Nelson Mandela University, whom I love so much. Campaigning during COVID-19 was the most difficult thing to do, particularly because it was during registration period. As a result of a commercialized education, registration period is not an event, but a process which does not happen overnight. We had to spend more time on championing the issues of students while ensuring strong campaign trail, spending nights without the comfort of our pillows, to depriving our eyes the pleasure of closing during the night and our bodies the luxury of rest to convince the student community to exercise their constitutional right, which is to exercise their democratic right to vote. We saw more than 10,000 students exercising their constitutional right, which is about 34% of our student community, and we are convinced that we are on the correct path to eradicate political apathy amongst the youth. We want 100% voter turnaround at Nelson Mandela University. In the upcoming SRC elections, we encourage all students to participate in this democratic process. You, the students, believed in our vision and voted us into office to represent your interest, which we shall do with integrity, without faith. I wish to boldly assert it categorically clear that if the beacon of hope for the student-centric at any point in time seemed to tilt, then I assure you that that hope is here and that we are here to rekindle it, and anything contrary to that, we will fight. Kaspedi ba re Christmas ga e tle gabedi mo ngwageng. Let me be opportunistic and welcome all the students as the official SRC president of Nelson Mandela University for the academic calendar of 2021. I wish you a momentous year. I wish to remind you all that despite being a place where we hold festival of ideas, a university is not an opportunity. It is a place to create opportunities for yourself, and hence the SRC should promote and advance your success. We discourage a student who does not network. The SRC program will focus more in building networks for the student community. Now let me speak to the colleagues in the SRC. We have been entrusted with the responsibility to lead at the helm of student leadership. We are duty-bound to Ubuntu to provide honesty and principled leadership that will promote academic and research excellence. We must use our tools of analysis to analyze the education system and pursue the struggle for economic emancipation, which is intertwined with free education to open doors of high learning for those deprived access by their economic status. Before I conclude, Program Director, allow me to extend my gratitude to my comrades who have been very instrumental throughout this highly contested journey. I also want to recognize my brother Mpotlongwane for always having my back. My comrades in arms, I owe a great debt to you for being a constant source of encouragement and support to me. You believed in the vision and made immense sacrifice of your time and energy to make sure this vision of hope saw the light of day for the students of the only university named after Tata Nelson Mandela. For that, ke a leboga. There are many people who played a crucial role in my life and during the campaign. Ifela nako ga intumelele magagesho gore ke lebitse ka moka ka mabitso. Bana ba thari yenso badimo ba Afrika ba beleleng. I think, Program Director, this is worth mentioning. I caution for proper comprehension. To the university management, we believe that the SRC and management have a common goal, which is the common good of the university. Just that management seeks it, that from the managerial point of view, and the SRC seeks it from the student point of view. In that regard, there is unity of purpose. We request that the SRC not be reduced to a conveyor belt to pass information to students, but as an active partner and a key stakeholder for the reshaping of the university. The SRC as a representative as representing the material primary stakeholders of the university, should be afforded an opportunity to be at the center of all the decisions affecting the students as entrenched in the Higher Education Act. Professor Motwa has recognized, of course, I quote, by the university, open quote, South African higher education landscape has significantly been shaped by the apartheid legislative framework and its oppressive policies, resulting in unequal employment opportunities, occupation and income within the national labor market, exclusion, alienation, which most cases considered with race and gender. We must be unapologetic about transformation agenda and centering knowledges that have been marginalized in research and curriculum, using languages majority of students understand. In lending, we wish to therefore conclude that with respect for responsibility, we have accepted the mandate of the students to advance their interests. We accept the leadership role to lead at the helm of the SRC with excellency. We will make every effort needed to vest a student culture that not only reflects the values of the university, but also address the unique needs and challenges faced by the student community of Nelson Mandela University, particularly from the poor and the working class background. Long live Mandela University, long live. Long live. Forward with student activism, forward. Long live Matiba's SRC, long live. Long live. I thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Poncho, for your address. And I do believe that the address that you have made, you will furnish us at the Office of UN Governance, because I do believe that it carries the heart of the SRC of 2021. So we really need to have a copy of that also, so that we may go through it. Because I do believe about everything they will be doing, we will be building around the address that we have made today. Thank you very much for the straightforward heart of the SRC 2021 is clear, and then we can pick it up with what is in your heart for 2021 moving forward. With that being said, let me call my boss. Oh, Mr. Mpepo says he does have pens. So the oath that you have to sign it now. He doesn't want you to think about it. He wants you to sign it now, and you leave it with him. So we'll provide you with pens. If you don't have a pen, you sign your oath with your name, and then you leave it with us. Thank you very much. With that being said, we are going to call upon Dr. Sebake to come and do a vote of thanks. Thank you very much.
Just to comply. It's not me, I was told, and I was taught very well during this period of COVID. Well, thanks very much, Mr. Mandela, for simply affording me this opportunity to be the last person to speak. I always get very excited when I see a podium, but I promise today I'll hold my excitos, because it's an important day for the SRC of Mandela University. But I think let me take this opportunity to thank the Vice Chancellor and the collective for attending this very special day in the history of the university. I'm aware that there are those who are attending online. Let me also acknowledge the time they've taken to really celebrate with our elected student leadership. the words you have shared with us, Vice Chancellor. I like the fact that there's always value in the statement you raise, and I was more intrigued when you reminded us about our value system. And I'm more comfortable with the response the President has given, because he's affirming that our value system are a set of philosophy that does not resonate only with us here as the university, but they guide us in terms of general philosophy of life. Let me acknowledge the good words you have shared with us. And as you were going down, I listened collectively and attentively. You spoke eloquently about authenticity, because often in leadership, we don't understand the complexities that comes with leadership, the responsibilities that comes with leadership. We become not authentic and deliberate in our act, and you also wrapped it up with a smile to remind us that we are a university that is rallying behind transformation. And the SRC president has affirmed. And I think the two speeches will be a very important take-home for the student leadership here as they go and represent Mandela University students. I must also acknowledge that we come a long way, Vice Chancellor, to arrive at the point we're in today. It was as if we will never arrive at this point. I'm happy that the speech of the president acknowledged the fact that traversing the ground of going to an online voting has not been easy, but it's a lesson that really takes us to the new era. Let me also affirm that this SRC, standing here before all of us, was elected democratically. It was inducted. Today, they took their oath of office. You are now indeed an authentic SRC. President, ulentirweni kokwana. Ikome kutika. Aitire kokwana. Simply means he entered a very tough terrain. He needs to start working and work for the general students of the university. And I was trying to appeal to him with his vernac. So I did a translation for those who did not capture the essence of the message I was delivering to him. Let me also thank the Dean of Students for really administering this oath of office for the 2020-2021 SRC of Mandela University. And you have done it with precision. And thank you very much for that. The SRC members, let me also congratulate you for being elected, for being chosen, for being here. The real work is beginning, and also let alone to take time and be part of this important day today. The organizers of the event, I'm told is hybrid. I do not know. I'm told as well, Vice Chancellor. But let me really thank them for thinking that in the time and period we are in, we really want everybody to be part of this important event. I'm also told that even students have taken part in viewing this on YouTube channel. I want to thank the organizers for that. It shows that indeed we are moving with times. The program director, thank you very much for also the work you've done till thus far. You actually directed the program in a manner that really represents who we are. And in closing, thank you very much. Thank you very much to all. Let me give back to the program director to give few announcements. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Doc. In terms of time and our program, means that we have finished early. And then we have requested the kitchen to serve us at 11, and then we still have an hour to go to 11. So we are very, very early in terms of us having the refreshments. But they said that they are going to try at least by 10:30, then you will have something. But don't leave up until we tell you to leave.
You can discuss,
Yeah. Yeah. So that's the announcement. Thank you very much, Vice Chancellor, Dean, Dr. Best, and Mr. Sebake, and thank you very much, Poncho, and your team for availing yourselves today. Thank you to the ICT department for all the help that you have given us. So we thank you very much. We seeing each other now moving forward as we do the work of student affairs. Thank you very much.